Hello, greetings family. My name is Alejandra Sofia. Welcome to Star Power Alchemy YouTube, and thanks for tuning in on this beautiful day at this beautiful hour of 12:38 p.m. I am streaming live for myself here, opening up my channel to receive this portal pre-Taurus new moon 2019. Today's May 3rd, 2019, and tomorrow in the Tomorrowlands of May 4th, 2019 at 3:35 p.m. Pacific, we are crossing a major threshold, and this is my celebration. This is my YouTube puja in the moment, sharing an offering of places that I am wishing to open up in myself and in this earth. So here you are joining me, and I'm sharing this time with you for those of you who'd like to receive my invocation. And I will be reading from my teacher's words, my books and information that has been dear and sacred to my heart and to my lifetime for decades now, and to bring into its fullness and into clear receptivity of this Venus portal new moon, May 4th, 2019, that is delivering us. And it is delivering each and every one of us who is seeking to be delivered into the truth and into paradise, and to fully receive the keys of the kingdom and queendom that lives in all of our hearts and lives in our DNA and lives in our mystical and physical, spiritual, mental, emotional birthright, to be here fully in allowing the stream, our channels to open up and be here in presence and authenticity to stream our dream through our creative channels. So here I go, and welcome, and I say hello to my friends and family, my earth tribe, star tribe, and this new moon in Taurus that is forming right now in these hours, and at this very moment of 12:38 p.m. on May 3rd, a Friday, Venus day, the moon is at the very final degree of Aries, and there is a great awakening happening at that degree, and a release and a completion that is happening at this degree. And so there are 360 degrees in the zodiac, and each degree is telling a point in the story. Each degree is a threshold into the journey of this mystical journey of bringing cosmic unity into the earth. So this powerful new moon, potent Venusian portal new moon, delivers us from in this time of 2019, in which in recent days, in this week of this last fourth quarter moon, preceding the new moon, always precedes the new moon is the fourth quarter moon, which is a release and an integration. It's the mulching of the previous cycle to open up fully into the new cycle. And what is unique about this week is that we're releasing the seven seeds of the new moon. Each new moon, a sequence of 7 new moons, starting with the October 8th Libran new moon. I pronounce Libra, and on October 8th, 2018. That began a sequence of 7 new moons, each sparking open the channel of the 18th degree of the 16th degree frequency of that sign journey. So 16 degrees Libra new moon on October 8th, and then in November we had the 16th degree Scorpio new moon, and then in December the 16th degree Sagittarian new moon, and so on. And within this sequence of 7, we've had 5 new moons occurring at the first degree frequency, and our the first degree frequency and the most previous last moon being a 30 degree frequency Libra new moon that we are still being released through. We are completing a massive storyline that has to die and has to be transformed, and that is the victim story. And in order to release the victim story, one has to choose for oneself in one's own Aries life stream that stream all 12 life streams. all 12 sign journeys stream through each one of us. That is how it goes here in this earth realm. We are each streaming each archetype, and so through the Aries life stream we are delivered into that is where our greatest deliverance. We accept the truth, we see the truth, we hear the truth, we stand up to the truth. And Aries actually has a neutrality to it, just arising to the neutrality of what is, within the presence of the moment, the understanding, the revelation, to receive the truth that allows for you to receive mission messages and to be and continue on your journey in apprenticeship to your own greater self and your own great potential, and truly receive the messages and the dreams of your greater self. So the victim story is the small self, and it's living through an old paradigm that continues to live and be anchored on the planet. And for those of us, and for those who are willing to rise up as new earth warriors, to shift the paradigm inside of your own heart, that is the change. And that is what this new moon is about. So this new moon is delivering us and releasing us from the cycle of 7 seeded points. Each new moon is a seed through that sign journey life stream. So to name them all, we traveled through, bridged through a bridge of 7, a powerful number that releases us and opens us up to our chariot, to our mission, to our creative work, to be in collaboration with our earthly self and our cosmic self, and the unity and the synchronization that, in order for that to occur, the synchronization that occurs within the heart. The heart is the bridging chakra that bridges the earth chakras, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, with the heaven cosmic chakras, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and the 4th is the Emperor-Empress chakra that receives the wisdom that links it all together, that allows for the release and the opening of love, light optimally vibrating everywhere through your chakra energy body system, the rainbow bridge that allows for wholeness, an experience of unity, a hemisync of your brain, left and right brain hemispheres, and allows you to trust the dreams, accept what is in the presence. Again, receive the dream realm, open up to the dream realm as a legitimate, authentic realm, and that your heart and your hands are the faculties that bring the dream into reality, here into earth, into concrete earth 3D reality. So this new moon is a deliverance for those of you, of us, of ones who are willing to take up the truth that has been being received inside of this inside of the Aries dark moon moon phases, in which we are releasing and mulching and really receiving the inner messages and understanding to stand up to your life, stand up to the acceptance that needs to happen, the forgiveness that needs to happen, that allows for the empowerment, and to step into a mutual empowerment field, which is the Aries, the life stream together. So there is no separation, and so in this wholeness paradigm, and fully stepping into the living experience of the wholeness paradigm, Aries is in opposition to the Libran life stream, and they are the relational polarity that Aries is the energizer and Libra is the catalyzer. It's through relationship, as we stand up in our own one self and become empowerment agents and see about us in our side-by-side Earth realities, of entering into a field of possibility and potentiality in which we engage our relationships with mutual empowerment and creativity, in which we can truly deliver ourselves ever more deeply and this planet and each other into a fifth dimensional experience now. Right now, and through the gateway of this new moon. This new moon at 15 degrees Taurus again releases us from the 16-degree frequency, in which was the key phrase there is adaptation dance. We've been making adaptations. We've been adapting to a new reality, and we are made up of cycles within cycles, rhythms within rhythms. This is just one rhythm being illuminated within a series of many cycles and rhythms, especially in the last 10 years since ignition point on May 27th, 2009, in which 3 planetary bodies in our eternity Earth solar moon system came together at the very same degree of 27 degrees Aquarius. Jupiter, Neptune, and Chiron, also known as Alpha, Omega, and Holos. They activated what is named the ignition point by my teacher, Atlantean Star Wisdom, father of Atlantean Star Wisdom, Elias Lonsdale, the ignition point that launched us, Earth, each one of us, into the future at that time. So this 10-year, there's also a 10-year that this new moon delivers us as we land and cross the threshold of Venus and Beltane and into this land of paradise that exists at all times. And it is a dimension. Paradise is a dimension, and is up to each and every one of us. If you wish to reach the cosmic oasis that lives in your heart, you have to do the work and you have to receive your challenges. And that is the fire will initiation that gives you keys, so you are your own key to your own kingdom, queendom, and to come into, to land into paradise, to open up the gates of your heart and bring in the fifth dimensional frequencies. And so I say it like this as if it's flowing in, but it's truly a multi-dimensional, because as you shift in your awareness and you adapt and make the adjustments and changes in to come into a synchronized relationship between ego and soul, in which they're working together, your personality, and to come into co-creatorship with the earth at this time and with cosmic reality. You come into apprenticeship with deep vision as you come into the knowledge and awareness of what these magical faculties are. You come into your magic, you come into your supernatural powers. So, are you ready? Do you want to receive this? Do you want to receive the goods and open yourself up to Venus? And that is you submitting yourself and giving into yourself and unto yourself to receive the chalice and the holy grail that lives inside of your heart, and to truly pick up as you are activating your own fire will channel of Aries, and picking up the chalice and saying, yes, I will. Yes, I will. My cup runneth over because I choose, and I now understand choice and the power of choice. And to be initiated through the understanding and the awakening that is happening within Pluto and Saturn, the gateway that is occurring, the awakening that is occurring, the release that is occurring, the death of ideologies that have to die in order to come in to our creative power apprenticeship with all that is and what's possible and what can be here on planet Earth, and to come into the truth, to come into the knowledge, to come into the experience and the awareness and the willingness and the trust and the understanding of what it is to be a human being. Saturn and Pluto are really opening up the gates of our ideological awareness, and in this time of this new moon that approaches on May 4th, that comes in on 2019, that wants to land in each one of us who are willing and wanting and wishing and opening and accepting of this mission, and are receptive to this possibility and are willing to make the shifts and changes. Saturn and Pluto in this time of this new moon, it's the first new moon of 2019, in which Pluto and Saturn are in a conjunction with each other. They're at this time of May 3rd, they're in a 3-degree conjunction to each other, and they have freshly turned inward. It is the first new moon. It is the only new moon of this year so far that we have experienced in our 2019 timeline, in which Saturn and Pluto, in their conjunction, which began on December 22nd, 2018, in a wide 10-degree conjunction, are in retrograde now to each other. It's the first new moon in which they are retrograde with each other, and retrograde turns the planets inward. Retrograde turns the energies inward. So for those who are willing to take up this time of contemplation, turning inside, contemplation into turning in towards your temple, to consider, to listen, to release, to understand. It is a hermit time, an internal time, that this new moon is landing groundbreaking, grounding into your inner temple for real. Landing into body is temple, into body, mind, soul temple, to receive your life's dream. This new moon is in a sextile. This new moon, the power of this new moon and the configurations, the aspects that are coming together at this time, and that will have fully landed into sacred geometry, script inscribed in our souls, and offering gateways into clear release of victim story, allows for you an entry into an experience inside of yourself, of landing inside of your body, landing consciousness inside of your body, landing in that consciousness, landing into relationship with yourself, in which you can be with your own wholeness, holiness, connection to yourself, to your inner child, to that being in you that was born, and that is born to this earth and continues to be born to this earth every day, and that you received the sacrament of coming in to earth through Cosmic Mother, through your own personal series, the Earth Mother, your mother's vaginal canal being Ceres, the Earth Mother. You came through your own personal canal, that is the sacred gateway of the Mother, the Great Mother, the Cosmic Mother, Ceres, who is in a quincunx with this new moon in Taurus. The new moon is the sun and moon joining together in a conjunction, in a fusion, at the 15th degree of Taurus. Taurus ruled by, governed by Venus, the Empress. And this is her sign, this is her time, this is her life stream. In a quincunx, this new moon, sun and moon conjunction, conjoining fusion, is at the tip of a yod. It is it's called the booster point of a yod. A yod is an aspect that comprises of two quincunxes, 150 degrees on each side, activating points at the end of those quincunxes, and then those 2 points sextile each other. So one of those points in this new moon chart on May 4th, 2019 is Pallas Athene in the sign of Libra at the 14th degree of Libra retrograde, and then on the other side of the sextile in quincunx to the sun and moon conjunction, the new moon, is Ceres in retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, in retrograde as well. So 2 retrograde points boosting the energy of the new moon. that is calling for anyone who is willing to truly rise up within the gates of Venus, within the land of Venus, and restore paradise on the planet, in your own heart, in your own beingness, through gratitude and appreciation. Venus's emotions of the here and now, and this beautiful sensual world that we live in which there is blue sky and green leaves and beautiful birthing that happens at this time, that blossoms paradise every year. Paradise, there it is, the proof, the living proof. and so here we are, being birthed and blossoming through this time of truly receiving that paradise into our own beingness, so that we can become co-creators of paradise and restore the feminine and the masculine into their rightful relationship unto this earth, this modern earth, this age and this time of living prophecy and living myths that we are. So each one of us, the prophecy to arrive to your own living prophecy and your own mythical journey is to say yes to this, and to say, yes, I'm a believer, I believe in this, and I accept this, and as you cross the thresholds of your own, again, will initiations, gives you entry into really beautiful magical worlds to run free and wild as the natural child that you are, and restore your channels and restore what was lost, and truly have your own experience of neurogenesis and transformation and transmutation. So and really render asunder those belief systems that we ingested and congested our channels. All of us who we've birthed onto this planet at different times, and at this time of 2019, in which we are truly in this these friction times between timelines of worst case scenario and best case scenario, and as you and each one of us chooses your own personal optimal pathways that open you up into the gateways of your great self and your great work and your creative work. This new moon is that truly opening up to receive your own Venus. And Venus taps into, Venus is the soul, Venus is the Holy Grail, Venus is your own heart, and to restore your own relationship with yourself and your self-love. And we only need words like self-worth to identify the problem, because our natural state is worth and worthiness, and that word only exists to give us an intellectual understanding of what's lacking in our culture. And so to truly gain yourself, and to cross the threshold and use the keys of your own will initiation and receiving your own inner challenges to rise up and release the story of victimization, rise up to your own hero's journey and be the hero of your life, and turn it around and join others and join your gang, join the Team Earth. In this Yod, Ceres is the team, Ceres is, and Pallas Athene, because Libra is the sign of relationships in this mutual empowerment field. It is saying yes, because Pallas Athene is the shape of the sword. Pallas Athene is Venus's sword, saying, I will slay you. I am slaying my psychological entanglements of following social norms that keeps keeping me stuck in my fears. And I now know that I need to rise up within my own fears, and I'm now see where the collective is stuck, and I see where freedom is reigning and calling and ringing, and I join with others and I say yes. So that means I will have to relinquish my judgments and pay attention to my words, and pay attention to what is truly love and fear, and these inner choices, these inner as the subconscious becomes visible through the energy body of feeling the highs and lows as energy becomes depleted, and when energy becomes expansive and excited and wants to be free and wants to optimally vibrate everywhere. Love, Love, light, optimally vibrating everywhere, and that which is seeking you, that which you're seeking is seeking you, your own greatest possibility, your own heart, your own oasis grace, a term coined by my dear friend Nisa Lux Dakota, Foxy Foxglove, who lives in Joshua Tree. Very near and dear to my heart, to land into your oasis graces. Grace is to land in your own treasure, your own wealth, to land and open up to the abundance that is and always has been. Never has there not been an abundance. The only lack that there's been has been a lack of understanding, and a lack of understanding and an erroneous belief. So we're coming into oneness belief and a truth that rings and clears the channels of the erroneous false beliefs. And again, the willingness to receive and understand and let go of these ideologies that have been like parents to a child. The child is growing up. For those people who are willing to grow up spiritually here in the physical, that is what time it is. It's time to release these old ideologies of what God is. That was just a phase and a process, and come into true independence and interdependence with Creator. How good it is, isn't it? And at this time in this yod that is formed, a finger of God, where the new moon, and which is the sun and moon conjoining, fusing together, I will read from the words of Elias Lonsdale from his unpublished book of what a conjunction is. My notes are a little unorganized right now. Here we go. A conjunction. Every conjunction represents a point along the journey where one is ready to move onward and be oneself in greater measure. Every conjunction. This includes the conjunctions in your personal chart and your personal blueprint, which is why it is quite a opportunity to understand and work with your own chart, work with your own blueprint. That formed is your own treasure map, the moment that you were born, and the moment that the sacred geometry, the geometry of your personal relationship coming through your own cosmic mother, earth mother series canal, being born into your own personal tribe, but you were also born into the earth tribe. There are concentric circles of belonging we are born to when we are born. We're born to our family, mom and dad, and the lineage and the ancestry. We're born to the community. There's a greater beloved community. We're born to the Sangha. And that is what time it is. It is time to rejoin the Sangha. And for those who are willing to take it up, who are willing to say yes to your own journey, who are willing to say yes to your own long-term pleasure and happiness as you are clearing yourself of your own misunderstanding and truly rising, truly landing, because this is Taurus, this is Venus, landing in your chalice and saying yes to half glass full ideologies and gratitude. Gratitude is essential. That is the key energy. That is the key emotion. Restore yourself through gratitude. So every conjunction represents a point along the journey where one is ready to move onward and be oneself in greater measure. So here we are upon this new time of the sun and moon coming together at the 15th degree of Taurus, a life stream governed by Venus, and to move onward in a journey and to be ourselves in greater measure on earth through our senses, to receive the pleasure and make those shifts in our diet, in our sensuality, to take up long-term pleasure and remove short-term gratification choices that are truly actually harmful, and they're temporary. So as you move into long-term and health, that brings health and wellness and longevity. So in this, again through this new moon conjunction, Okay, so another thing I want to read about this about conjunctions. In the most basic sense, both planets in conjunction stand beside each other as sisters and brothers and urge free activation and mutual empowerment. That is juicy, and that is again Elias Lonsdale's words, written from his unpublished. I'm reading from his unpublished book. And so the brothers and sisters, so this is you birthing, having this experience of, if you choose to listen to these words again, these are incredibly deep words, to clear your channels of confusion, that you get to be here, you get to fully be here as yourself, and you have sisters and brothers, and join your sisters and brothers. And that's what this new moon is delivering us into, that it's time to take what you've been working on in yourself and your creativity, if you've been working on your creativity, to take your gifts out, to take your gifts into the community, to land them in the community, your gifts of love, your gifts of singing and dancing, because Venus rules the throat. Venus rules singing, and to come into celebration. Ceres is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the awakening, and Sagittarius is this, oh my gosh, this is a gift of life, and I don't want any minute to go by in which I'm not celebrating in my heart. Yes, we need to work, but work is play, and that is where creative work comes into. Join your channels, these parts of you that need to be in harmony with work, with purpose and mission, and where it is a focused work, and that does take meeting challenges and pushing and meeting obstacles, that this is good work. And as you are being birthed through your own creative channels to create your recreation as your work, to choose to individualize and gain independence by your own birthright, your own mystical and very real birthright, to be who you are and unto yourself in your sovereignty, in your freedom, your creative play, and your natural wild child that is in now relationship and being inwardly held and parented by yourself. You're holding you're an adult who's now truly holding yourself, and this is the mastery. This is the emotional mastery time that we're undergoing with Saturn and Pluto turning inward, of how to gain your sovereignty and the tools and the apprenticeship. So you have to turn inward to your own internal apprenticeship. Everyone, we are in internal apprenticeship with our own soul and our own inner messages, learning to trust and listen and hear the dream that is really unfolding. And that's the point of this. You want to land your dream, you want to have your dream, you're going to need to be receptive to your dream, hear the dream, feel the vision, and that is how the new earth opens up to you. And time is now, time is art, and open up all the artistic channels. Art is creativity flowing naturally and organically, and having that experience of time rather than time is survival. That is the paradigm we are shifting. I believe that we are upon a new moon cycle that is releasing many of us who are willing to drink the medicine of our own truth and see ourselves, be with ourselves, feel ourselves, and love ourselves to death. The victim story must die in order for us to come alive in our natural wild child, in under cosmic parenthood of ourself, and which is holding ourselves accountable and being responsible and being responsive to that which is telling us to pay attention. So it's coming into authentic relationship, and those are key energies. And authenticity is being accountable, being responsive, and that helps to form the integral container that is an unfolding. Integrity is an unfolding experience, and there's in this unfolding, moment by moment change is constant universe, mystical, mythical experience that we are all living consciously or unconsciously. It is happening. So in this new moon and the union of the sun and moon, there are two quincunxes. And here I'm going to read now again from Elias Lonsdale and his unpublished book. These are his words. The quincunx is the one aspect which changes completely between its shadow manifestation and its free-flowing true path. This is the lead up. The cosmic purpose of the quincunx is to assist and mediate every human soul in becoming sufficiently improvisational. Keyword: sufficiently improvisational and in tune with the moment that they can, directly in the midst of overwhelming contemporary chaos, right? The news. Use every bit of ferment to learn how to move with life from an independent center. 2 quincunxes push up are activating the yod, agitating the new moon, The yod is made up of 2 quincunxes. I'm going to read again, that are activating the new moon. Again, the cosmic purpose of the quincunx is to assist and mediate every human soul in becoming sufficiently improvisational and in tune with the moment that they can, directly in the midst of overwhelming contemporary chaos, using every bit of ferment to learn how to move with life from an independent center. Friends, family, brothers, sisters, we are in the territory of independence. So you coming into your own independence, my coming into my own independence, we need to use, because at the end of these quincunxes is Pallas Athene retrograde in Libra, Ceres in Cosmic Mother, Earth Mother in Sagittarius, both retrograde. You have to take your own Pallas Athene, the sword of Pallas Athene, that your Venus, your self-love, your self-dignity, your self-respect, your cup half full overflowing, and slay the demons inside your own emotional body. You have to slay the demons. And in the working well relationship of the sextile, because that's what the 60-degree sextile energy of that is occurring between, that Pallas and Ceres are in relationship to each other, will allow you to open up, because Ceres isn't opening up to the greater, you're being delivered unto the earth. That is what's happening. Being delivered unto the earth and really receiving, like, oh my God, this whole lineage that I am. You open up to your circle, your primary family circle, your present family circle, your friend circle, your earth tribe. You open up to the Gaia Sophia tribe. And as you open up to that, occurs the rebirth, and we are in these days of rebirth, and you open up to your art and your creativity, because that is what Pallas Athene wants to slash. It wants to slash how you're denying yourself, and how you became contorted through socially conditioned channels. So this is a time of slaying social conditioning, your own conditioning, your early childhood primary program. Please consider that is where you received your major social conditioning, was through the channel, through your primary family, because the great galactic disease and the misunderstanding and the contortions and the distortions come through what's happening through the greater tribes, through what's happening culturally. And so that is the cultural mechanism of how Ceres ingests the false through the culture. And so how we become affected and infected by great diseases of the soul and of the heart and of the mind that create ideologies, erroneous ideologies of separation that has been keeping our culture and each one of us individuals in separation from each other, and continuing to live through lies and deception and distortion. So, do you want that? Do you want that? Do you want something else, and do you want something new? Do you want your own union? Do you want your own wholeness? Well, hello and welcome, and thank you for being here if you're still listening to me at this moment. And at this moment, I believe we have transitioned into, it's 40 minutes later, and the moon is now in Taurus. So all of this has been coming through the last degree of, I started this video, this invocation at the last degree of when the moon was at, when the moon was at 30 degrees Aries, and then flowed into the very first degree of Taurus. So I'm feeling the energy of that right now. I'm feeling of what I feel in co-creativity, in partnership within myself, and this call that I felt, and even this invitation. Venus is an invitation. Venus is the invitation that lives in your heart, and I felt invited by my own heart to come here. I live 66 paces from this sweet little spot with a little bubbling brook that I have named the Tolowa Creek. There is another name that is used, and I'm not going to name it because I don't agree with it. It's a name that comes from white people taking over indigenous lands, and so I won't name that creek. Well, I'm not going to use the creek that it is commonly known as, because I believe this is the Tolowa Creek, and the Tolowa are the indigenous people that inhabited and have inhabited and continue to inhabit this land, this territory for thousands of years. So Taurus, Venus, restores the lands and restores the truth and honors what is. And so here we go, series, we are being delivered into receiving the mission of our time, that we are the people of our time. We're the living grandchildren. That's the reminder. That's the big FYI that series and this whole that's happening. It's like, FYI, everybody. I know you all know that you're grandchildren, because you know, most of you probably met your grandchildren, but you are the greatest grandchildren living on this planet right now. Please take that in. You are the greatest grandchildren of all of Earth family lineage living right now. Take that in. That is the truth. And to receive, that is also the lineage. We are as these concentric circles that truly, as you submit yourself to the truth of love, of ancestry, there is no separation. There is, and to burn down the delusion of division that a bereft, emotional, lost land of the lost emotional body caused the dis-ease of the mind, of all these ideas of separation and division that have been hurting the soul and hurting the individual, and created the major wounds on the planet that we are unwinding through our own will initiations and our own willingness. So we are this new moon is delivering those who are willing to open up to your own heart and the truth of what living in 3D reality, in this ever unfolding moment happening right here and now, celebration that really is, so that you can open up to so that you are open up to the celebration of living the gift, and what rises inside of you of how you want to give to the gift, and that creates your creative work. So I want to read right now from a book that inspires me very much, and it is this book right here. And I want to read very briefly from this book. The introduction. I'm just gonna speak some words, because I want to get to the page and a half of that I really want to read to. But the introduction reads: the 16 yogas of Patanjali. The 16 yogas, the wheel of yogas of Patanjali. Prakriti yoga, union through power. Bhakti yoga, union through love. Jnana yoga, union through wisdom. Chakra yoga, union through preservation. Raja yoga, union through creation. Satya yoga, union through eternal life. Karma yoga, union through work. Samadhi yoga, union through peace. Ha yoga, union through sun. Shat yoga, union through water. Pranayama yoga, union through air. Sattvic yoga, union through food. Laya yoga, union through man. Laya kriya yoga, union through earth. Hatha yoga, union through health. Mantra yoga, union through joy. 16 yogas of Patanjali, and here is a beautiful 16-petaled lotus. just pausing to allow that and to be with that. To continue now is to read from the Creative Work Karma Yoga, Jewels of Karma Yoga of Patanjali. We're going to clear the channel of poor worth ethics and a misunderstanding. That's my intention here, is to clear the channel of misunderstandings about what work is. And here we go through reading this aloud. Work is something to be greatly desired, something to be praised and lauded by us all. Our lifelong friend, the giver of all gifts, the creator of everything we shall ever need or desire. And surely with such thoughts in mind, our love for work will become deep and true. Then we shall gain the power to work even better with greater capacity and talent. I live in Talent, Oregon. This is seriously Talent, Oregon. Even with genius, and with genius, I'll change that too. And with genius. For an intense love of work usually gives birth to genius, and genius, I'm adding, genius gives birth to work. Work for a great idea, and you arouse great ideas in your own mind. Mind is emotion and intellect. Great ideas produce great thoughts. The dream realms, you connect with the dream realms, and great thoughts produce great women and men. A woman is exactly what she thinks herself to be. Therefore, the woman who thinks great thoughts must necessarily become a great woman. And the simplest way for anyone to form the habit of thinking great thoughts is to work for great ideas. The man who shirks does not grow. The man who works poorly will remain small in mind. The man who works in the wrong concept of work will tire and wear out. I am interchanging man and woman in my own flow. I did not prepare for this. So, when you work simply for yourself, meaning I'm just going with the flow. So, this is both for men and women. And women who shirk do not grow. Women who work poorly will remain small in mind. Mind is emotions, staying inside of emotional victimization, thought forms, subconscious thought forms. The woman who works in the wrong concept of work will tire and wear out. The woman who works in the wrong concept of work will tire and wear out. When you work simply for yourself or for your own personal gain, your mind will seldom rise above the limitations of an undeveloped personal life. But when you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. And I decree that as you dream yourself to be now, as you dream bigger, as you receive what is possible for you. So I'm completing right there. And I'm wrapping this up, and I'm so grateful for anyone who decided to share this time with me and share what is coming through me at this time, and share this space and this beautiful bubbling energy of nature and Venus birthing herself through each and every one of us. It is my hope to birth myself and to bring myself through my own rebirth channels at this time. And I encourage, as I'm feeling the encouragement in my own heart, is to create events, weekly events of coming together that are artistic and celebrational, that meet the singing and dancing and the musical needs that we need every day of our life. These are not hobbies, and they are not left to just the few people on the planet who are opening up to their own creative channels, and they're the rock stars and the artists saying, "Oh, I'm not an artist." That's not permissible in the land of the found, because life is art and Venus is the heart planet. And it is through your own heart that you open up to your creativity, and and be willing to open up and sing just for the joy of singing. And you're opening up your pleasure channels and open up to dancing and movement, and release the judgments of your own self-judgments. That is the primary self-judgment that we're releasing, is our own self-judgment and how we've been standing in our own way. So with that, I wish you all much love. Thank you so much for listening, and please subscribe to my channel. Reach out to me at starpoweralchemy@gmail.com. Make comments, and thank you so much.